Hello, wonderful people of the internet. Welcome back to another episode of Simuleo. Today is going to be, well, it's going to be a day. Let's see, do I have quality options? That's one thing I forgot to check. I do, nice. Okay, so, how's everyone doing today? I hope you're having a wonderful evening, or, day, night, afternoon, morning, whatever time it happens to be your time. Okay, here's the thing. My neighbors are playing loud music, which is why I am not technically, I started a bit late today. I'm going to do my best to work through it. You guys probably can't hear it here on stream. And actually, it's just barely loud enough for me to notice. So I think I can talk over it. I think it'll be fine. I also have a white noise machine now that I can probably drone it out with. And I don't think you guys can hear it if I turn it on stream, as long as I'm talking over it. I think it should be fine. So I think I can pretty much get through it. It's just, oh man, I don't like this place. This place, I don't like it. I do not like living in this city. C252, MRS Trash Talk, hey, how are you guys doing? Right, so I hope everyone's dealing with the corona apocalypse, whatever you want to call it, pretty well. I know that there are a lot of people who have actually lost their job, and a lot of people who are just struggling, probably working from home, all of this kind of stuff. And I know it's a hard time for a lot of people right now. Sure, I know it could be worse. It could be a lot worse. We could be in the middle of the Black Plague, and we're not. But the way I see it is, it's still really, really annoying and somewhat depressing to be home alone all day without any human contact. So here I am. I'm hoping that someone here enjoys the content that we're producing. Someone here has fun, can talk about algorithms, do some math stuff. I don't know. It's kind of one of those things. I'm in France, so quarantine and university from home. Yeah, that's most people in the US as well. I'm quarantined myself, even though I don't have to be. Hey, Soding, how are you? By the way, if you guys don't know, definitely check out Soding's channel. He does a lot of really, really cool stuff. Yeah, I'm a big fan of his stuff. I think, what was the most recent thing? I actually don't know what he's been working on recently. I'm so sorry. Feel free to just, ping your stuff in chat. I don't mind. My partner lives with me. Man, I kind of wish that was the case for me. The labs in my department may close any day now. Many people will have to postpone their theses and spend additional semesters at university. So I've been thinking, right, so I'm working remotely now, pretty much entirely remotely. There's literally no reason for me to be in the city of Boston. I've been thinking, maybe it makes sense for me to literally drive down to Alabama. It's a 20-hour drive, and live with my family, or live with my parents at their lake house, instead of being here, where I'm in the middle of a city. I can't get any sleep because my neighbors are always playing a lot of music, this type of stuff. I'm thinking about it, Hello from Sweden. University has arranged remote lectures and exams. I think that's most of the world nowadays. I think everything is remote. I might be the only person who can still do their thesis, since I'm the only person doing purely theoretical thesis. Oh, dude, yeah, I completely forgot about that. I'm so used to people doing, mainly theoretical or computational theses. It's not even something I thought about, but you're right. People doing experiments are just out of luck. They can't go into the office in some cases. So I've actually been using this little tracker. I don't know if you guys have seen this before. It's actually one of my favorite trackers for the coronavirus stuff. I think it's pretty good. I don't know. It essentially just tracks how the coronavirus has been kind of going through, the different stages of its life cycle, So over here, if you open this up, it shows orange is going to be mainland China, then yellow is going to be other locations, and the green is the total number of recovered people. Yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe, I don't know. I just like this app. It's nice. I guess other people didn't really like it as much as I do. But you see here that other locations, as of just a few days ago, which would be 3:15, and I think we're 3:20 now. Oh, I guess 3:20 data hasn't been put on there. So we surpassed the total number of cases outside of mainland China, which is, yeah, it is a bit morbid, but I don't know. I keep track of this kind of stuff. It's important to keep track of it. So personally, I mean, you guys know I live in Boston. It's over here. You can click on this little bubble, and you see confirmed 256, active 256. So I guess there are 0 deaths, which is good, but I mean, it's still it's not a good situation to be in. For those of you who may not be aware, I just learned about this today. A lot of this whole quarantine and stuff like this actually might need to be a repeating thing until we have a vaccine for the coronavirus. It might be that every 2 months out of 3, you actually have to be socially distant and stuff like that, which I guess is fine, or it's okay in the age of the internet where you can, talk to people, stream, all this kind of stuff. But it's just a different world, like everything could just change, like that. It's kind of weird. And of course, the U.S. economy is tanking. I mean, I know this doesn't really matter that much, but Dow Index, I don't know. I'm just talking about stuff that I'm sure everyone already knows. I'm just kind of, I'm interested in it, So as everyone else is, you kind of look at it, and you see that, it was actually increasing since basically Obama left office. It was increasing, and then we have, it's literally down to basically right when Trump took office. And, yeah, this is actually, I'm very, very worried about this. The economy crash. So right now, we're seeing the stages of the coronavirus where everyone's kind of staying at home. But if everyone's staying at home, that genuinely means that lots of businesses just go out of business. Any tourism related business, and by tourism, I'm including any type of business where anyone goes out to do things, is tanking. And it's going to be tanking. And that sucks. And containment in France might still be there in the summer. Yeah, that's the same everywhere. It's just, I don't know. I'm not going to say we're screwed. Because honestly, right? We're not technically screwed. The way I see it is people are still going to seek out entertainment. Now that we have the internet, people can work pretty well from home. That's great. But it's a situation where the economy will drastically change, and we'll see how, if this lasts till the summer, the only things that will probably survive from this will probably be like online retail and stuff like that. It's just, I just keep thinking about what we're going to be like in the next year or so if we have to deal with this, and it's kind of insane, Basically, all the money in my state is from tourism and marijuana, so a bunch of businesses going to fold. Yeah. I bet being a YouTuber is a pretty nice job right now. Right. So it's pretty okay now because everyone's watching YouTube and everyone's watching Twitch. Right. Makes sense. But in a few years, or not even a few years, in a few months, when everyone's out of work because they're not getting money from, their typical, other jobs, where does the money come from now? Because YouTubers get paid by ad revenue, right? Ad revenue is going to go down south if no one's buying things, right? Which means you're not going to get paid much at all, and the only thing you'll be paid by are things like Patreon and stuff like that. But if no one has any money, like, it's fine for now because you're getting a lot of ad revenue, but in the next few months, I think that's going to drop. I don't actually know what the internet economy is going to look like in the next few months. I'm actually genuinely, I'm intrigued, but I know it's morbid, Germany promised unlimited loans to keep businesses afloat. Unlimited loans? I mean, that sounds like something that's not possible, Hey Jerry, how are you? Let's see. That sounds like very dangerous. Yeah, I don't know. Like, this whole thing is just it. I'm not worried, right? I shouldn't be worried. I know I shouldn't be worried, but there's a little bit of me that is kind of worried. Are we going to be able to find a vaccine in time to fix the economy? I don't know. I don't even know what we're looking for here. I know that eventually everyone's going to have the coronavirus. We'll have herd immunity. It's not going to be a big deal. But until that point, it could be a big deal. And that's where we're at. I just got a new MIT advisory for COVID-19 in my mailbox right now. It's just, everything's changing. And it's all because of this. And it's so weird that this is the thing, there's enough food to feed every human being, but it's poorly distributed. Right. I was having fun with Google Meet. People started spamming our classes with random accounts. So I wrote a script to deny their entry automatically. I didn't know you could do that. I mean, it's cool, but also, like, why are people trolling, right? No. We're going to survive. I mean, as a species, the species is going to survive. The coronavirus is not anywhere near as bad as, like, the Black Plague or anything like that. Like, we're not going to lose, like, our entire population or anything. Okay, everything's falling. 1 second. Wait, I don't understand. I got this email, an MIT advisory for something, and I can't find it. I was just gonna look at it so I could see what it was, and it's fine, doesn't matter. Anyway, right. So this is not anywhere as near as bad as the Black Plague. And again, know that I'm not talking from a position of authority. This isn't something I know about. It's just something that I feel like I want to talk about, and so know that I'm not a doctor. I'm not a what is an epidemiologist? What is that? Oh, that's not what I meant. What is an epidemiologist? Is that a word I'm looking for? I'm thinking about epidemic, right? Yeah, okay, that's what I'm looking for. So there you go. I'm not one of these guys. I thought for a second I got it all wrong. But I will say that I don't know. I will say that this is an interesting thing that we should all at least think about, At least we have better healthcare than the 1300s. Right, I mean, maybe the coronavirus in the 1300s would have killed everyone. I have no idea. I genuinely don't. All I know is that right now, this thing is killing the economy, and I am genuinely concerned about several areas of the economy in the future, And I think that's going to be the effect that I'm most worried about. Yeah, sure. I mean, in some places, if you look at this, like, for example, let's just look at Italy. Italy got hit pretty hard. They have a total of 34,000 deaths, which is insane. It's just like, I mean, it's just so... I know this is morbid, and I know I shouldn't be talking about it, but there's a bit of morbid curiosity. This is like a 10% rate, like almost 10%, 9% or something like that. Rate of whatever, like... I don't know, mortality rate or something like that. That's super high. Like 10%, I mean, that's like Thanos snapping his fingers, just putting the ratio at 10 instead of 50. I don't know. It's just rough. Anyway, I don't want to dwell on this too much. We're going to talk about Easter algorithms in a bit. I just want to say that if you are struggling with this type of stuff, and if you're worried about the economy, and you're worried about, I don't know, just maybe your friends or family, doing okay. If you're worried about, this, a lot of people are worried about this. A lot of incredibly smart people are doing their best to get this fixed. And they'll find a solution. It's just that it's worrying everyone until then. And I mean, I've got a PhD. It's not like I'm in the same boat as everyone else, The numbers are a bit iffy because back in the day, there were also a lot of less people. Yeah, I guess that's true. German social and economic security programs are pretty different, but we still suffer a lot too. The Black Plague killed half of Europe, around 50 million back then. 50, yeah, 50, yeah, that's still a lot. I mean, gosh. I don't think these numbers are right. The mortality rate is like 1 to 2%. Right, it's 1 to 2% for like other countries. Like, for example, Japan. This is like 1% for Japan. Or 2% for Japan. It just depends on the country and like the social structures around it and all this kind of stuff. The economy actually boomed after the Black Plague. Weird, though. Well, I guess, I don't know. There was a note that I missed up top, and I can't seem to find it anymore. Yeah, Vexajos. My sis works in gastronomy. She's out of luck. Yeah, I don't know. It's just I'm worried, and I think everyone's worried. Which is why today we're not going to talk too much more about that. We're going to talk instead about Computus, the Easter algorithms, and hopefully just have a good time, and not ignoring the fact that we're all home alone, and trying to hide away, keep people from getting sick from the coronavirus, all this kind of stuff. But just acknowledging it and keep on trucking on. You know what I'm saying? Like, the economy is going to be really weird. I don't know what's going to happen in the next year. And I don't know how the U.S. is going to deal with it, I've got a feeling our economy is going to keep going south for a bit, and it'll come back up, but it's going to take time to come back up. And in the meantime, we've kind of got to figure it all out. Somehow it still hasn't hit me. Maybe it's hit other people. Like, I'm not saying it's like the end of the world. It's not anywhere near the end of the world, but it sucks for a bit. And that's what we just have to deal with. Anyway, I don't know why I rambled about that for so long. I'm hoping that maybe you guys got something out of it. The point is, I guess, thanks for coming in. I recognize the situation we're in, and I'm hoping that maybe today we can just hang out, chill, talk about Easter algorithms, make some visualizations. I don't know, just have fun, enjoy your time, chat, all this kind of stuff. That's where I'm at. The economy is going to crash in some way or another sooner or later. Ooh, boy, that is some pessimistic views. I mean, like, it was going to crash, right? Like, we knew it was going to crash, but by this much, I don't know. I don't think it's going to crash by this much. I mean, okay, let me just take, so the only real metric I know that I can work off of the economy, and please feel free to let me know if there are better metrics, is the Dow Jones Industrial Average, right? So if we look at this maximum time, right? We look at that over the maximum duration from 1980. I mean, this dip right here is the sharpest dip in the history that we've been keeping track of this, you know? I know the economy goes in cycles, but, right, so let's look at the past 5 years here. So you can see the cycles, right? There was a dip here, right? And this dip happened to be November 4th, 2016. What happened on November 4th, 2016? Oh, that was an election day. And that was when Trump was inaugurated, right? I'm just pointing that out. And then it kind of goes up and down, but there's a general trend line going up, right? So even though it's in cycles, like, to dip this strongly is still something to keep in mind. And again, right, this is just the stock market. The stock market is somewhat indicative of the overall growth of the economy, but it doesn't mean that this is the only metric we have to measure whether the economy is doing well or not, right? There are other metrics. It's just one. And I figure because it's an industrial average of sorts and it's the most common one that's used in this way, it's probably okay. But there are probably better metrics out there. Production capacity isn't harmed by the virus. We can mostly just start the factories up again. But I'm not an economist. I mean, the issue is you can't really start the factories up again if people can't go to work, right? That's kind of the issue. Anyway, Amaris, have a wonderful evening. Good night, and I hope anyone in Europe who might be here, you know, chilling out late at night, yeah, I hope you guys are having a good evening, you know? Let's see. Oh, wait. No, that wouldn't be in Europe. I'm sorry. I thought I was in Japan again. 11:30 p.m. Where is it 11:30 p.m.? It'd have to be... Oh, no, it's in Europe. It has to be in Europe, right? Because I'm in the same time zone as I normally stream in. I'm just a little bit later. I'm from Italy. But yeah, I hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful time. How is it doing? How are you guys doing in Italy? I mean, I hear it's pretty bad. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so that's it for rambling about the coronavirus. I know it's a big deal. And I think maybe I feel like I should... I want to do something about it. I want to like make a video about it or something. I just want to help out, you know, make people a little bit less afraid of this thing. But I really don't know the best way to do that except for, you know, take a few hours out of my day and just do something different, you know. I actually need to get up slightly early tomorrow. There'll be a YouTube geometry lecture. All right, good luck, man. Right, for anyone who is dealing with working alone, or sorry, for anyone who's dealing with working from home for the first time or dealing with remote lectures, just because you're at home doesn't mean you have any right to shirk your regular responsibilities, right? You still need to keep that schedule going, because the moment you stop keeping that schedule is actually the moment that you may slip into some somewhat depressed attitudes and mindsets. And by keeping a schedule, just going on day to day, that's one way just to keep yourself in the loop and keep yourself going, you know? So I'm staying up. F my sleep schedule. I don't know, man. I honestly think school's for nerds. See, come on, guys. You guys are like some of the nerdiest people I know. So school is exactly for you people. Online school works great for me, to be honest. Honestly, I agree with you. I think online schooling for me also would work, I think, pretty well, because I learn better on my own, alone, away from everyone else. But that doesn't mean it works better for the teachers. It doesn't mean it works better for everyone else. And so it's kind of, you know, it's a mixed bag, you know? So anyway, most of my classes were already online. Oh, I didn't know that. Interesting. Okay, so as of yesterday, we were talking a lot about computers. Now, I can go back through the history of all this. There's an incredibly rich history to what this is, but essentially, it is an algorithm to calculate the date of Easter. And here's a table for all of the different dates. Let me make that a bit bigger. What you might notice is that there isn't any real, I mean, there's kind of a rhyme or reason to this, but there isn't really a huge rhyme or reason to where Easter is on the calendar every year. We know it's between March 22nd and April 25th or something like this. But for the most part, there isn't really a clear understanding of where it's going to be from one year to the next. And that's because Easter is determined based on a lunar calendar, and then it's ported into the Gregorian calendar, right, that we're used to every day. So the idea is you have some sort of festival that's held the Sunday after basically a Paschal full moon. It's a Passover full moon. So basically you have March 21st, which is today, I think, right? Isn't it March 21st? It is oh, no, tomorrow's March 21st. But basically you have March 21st, and then the full moon directly after that event. So March 21st would be the first day you could have the full moon, and then the Sunday after that, that's going to be the that's going to be the first full moon, and then after that is going to be Easter. I'm sorry, I did a really bad job of that. Let me rephrase that. March 21st, first day of spring according to the Pope, right? After March 21st, you'll have a full moon. The Sunday after that is Easter. There we go. That's where we are. That's what we're talking about. Okay. It's the 19th where you live too. Right, yeah, so it's the 20th in Japan. I keep my clock here on Japanese Standard Time because it's easy enough to do the conversion, and I kind of like it to be on the same time that my girlfriend's on, just because, I don't know, it's one of those things. I don't know. Most of my classes were already online. It gives me a little more motivation to on the boring classes, since I get to sit by the computer once it's finished. I guess that's true. Right. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about a bit about this Easter algorithm, and today in particular, I want to start making some visualizations, right? And the question is, what types of visualizations do we need to actually make here? Did you know that China has only one time zone? I did not, but I could imagine that being true. Okay. So let's talk about what kind of visualizations we need. So the Easter algorithm is actually incredibly straightforward. However, even though it's straightforward, it took years, centuries to be able to get to this point where it is kind of straightforward to calculate. Essentially, the Easter algorithm is a bunch of small scale computations, right? It's just, you do year mod 19, year mod 4, year mod 7, year over 100, floor of that, all this kind of stuff. It's just some basic operations that pretty much everyone can do in a calculator nowadays, right? I mean, this algorithm was invented in 1800, and then was finalized in 1816. So basically, they didn't have computers back then. They had to use some sort of computation, and the best they could do was calculator-like computation, So yeah, that's what we have. Now, the question is, where do these numbers come from? And they're kind of pulled out of a hat. And Gauss himself, when he invented the Easter algorithm, he made the Easter algorithm in the first place. He was asked by some of his compatriots, like, where did this algorithm come from? And he was like, it's just math, man. He didn't even try to explain where it came from. He just said it just was math, right? But in the end, there is a good way to understand where this comes from, and I'll link this to you guys here. We talked about it yesterday. There's two basic components of this Easter algorithm. The first part is an approximate tracking of the lunar orbiting, and the second part is the exact deterministic offsetting to obtain a Sunday following the full moon. So the first visualization I want to make is actually kind of straightforward. I want to create something known as Sir Voice's table. I'm just gonna try to see if this brings up what I wanted to bring up. I don't think it did. Let me try this again in Google. No offense, DuckDuckGo, but sometimes it doesn't bring up what I wanted to bring it up. Right, so this table here is essentially a list of all of the times Easter is throughout the 18th and 19th century, right? And so I want to just create this table. That's the first thing I want to do. So I'm going to create a function to create the table. And then after that, what am I going to do? I'm just going to try to visualize it in GathVL and see what we can do. I'm not sure exactly the best way to do this. In fact, maybe I should just plot this. Actually, let's do that first. Let's just create it in Julia. Let's plot it. We'll create some sort of array. And then we will go from there and see how it goes. Let me go ahead and catch up on chat here. For the unity of the country, yeah, I can imagine that being true. How it's so wide. China uses one time zone, but people do work differently. People typically work later in Xinjiang than in Beijing. I don't know if I really do apologize if I mispronounced Xinjiang. I feel like I never can get Chinese pronunciations correctly. I just find it weird that a person in Tibet gets New Year at the same time as someone in Singapore gets New Year. But yeah, they probably adjust themselves. Time is a social construct. Great argument for staying up late and being a wreck the day after. Honestly, I kind of wish the world was on one time zone. I've thought about this a lot. There's legitimately no reason for us to have different time zones. Just why? What's the point? It just messes everyone up, you know? And then every single time I have to send an email, I have to specify, oh, this is in Eastern time, this is in, Pacific time, this is in this time. Just screw the time zones. Have a universal time, which I guess we do. I guess we could just use GMT, but no one uses the GMT. Okay, fine. You're right. We should just all use GMT. That's my personal opinion. I think having time zones is worth it, but why? Like, I mean, sure, I guess you could say, schools across America start at 7 o'clock in the morning or whatever time they start nowadays, 8 o'clock in the morning, which is kind of nice. But, like, what time 8 o'clock is in your own local time. So just say, I don't know. It gets annoying because sometimes, especially with daylight savings time, it just is really confusing. People just don't understand, like, what time means, If you want to get mad over time zones, look at daylight savings. Yeah, that was just exactly what I was going to say. Japan didn't observe daylight savings time. So I was just completely confused 2 weeks ago when daylight savings time happened. And I was like, what happened? Like, I missed an hour out of my day. I don't know where it went. It'd be funny if there wasn't. Everyone's just making fun of daylight savings time now. Okay, so we're going to go into CD projects. Why not Simuleos? Let's go. Git pull. Origin Simuleos. Right. Could not find. Right, because I'm an idiot. Everything's just in the master branch. I don't really care that much. I'm gonna go ahead and make directory for Computus. All right, let's go ahead and knock this out. CD projects, Simuleos, and Computus. Oh, that's not how you spell it. Let's try it again. Computus. So the way I'm going to have this work is this terminal over here is going to be my programming or my running terminal. I'm just going to run stuff in that one. And over here, we're going to have the coding, the Computus. So I guess because there could be multiple Computus algorithms, I'm just going to go ahead and open up Gauss.jl. Gauss Easter.jl. Yeah, let's go with that. Okay. And we'll just kind of make our Julia function, go ahead and plot serve voice table and see how it goes. Let's see. Daylight savings time is actually the government's lie. We actually time travel during that time, so the government gets to recharge batteries and birds. The birds aren't real meme or myth or whatever it is insane. It's just basically the idea there is that there's a whole bunch of birds. You see birds all the time, but they're not actually birds. They're actually government spying devices. And they just fly around and they keep track of Americans. That's what they do. That's why my blinds are always shut, because sometimes I'll hear birds chirping, and that's actually them sending information back and forth that's read and interpreted by the NSA. Actually, if you go to the NSA, actually, they all speak in chirps. Like that's what they do. They just chirp to each other. That's the NSA language. It's interesting, actually, when you think about it. I just use the +00 time zone, where London is +0 and Japan, for example, is +9 or something. I find that easier than PTET. Right, it's just people don't know that notation. I don't know that notation. I think that is probably the notation we should use, though. The conspiracy theory, where instead of Earth being flat, it doesn't exist. Honestly, that's not a conspiracy theory. That's true. Earth is just a social construct. I prefer the No Society. They just say no to everything. I mean, there's no such thing as fish. Wait. What do you mean there's no such thing as fish? Fish are the one thing I actually believe in. Hey, that's your fan. How are you? You should join Dino Earth Society. We here believe that Earth is a dinosaur. What? The entirety of Earth is just a giant T-Rex that's just like big head, little arms, just kind of moving itself through the universe. That's interesting. My personal conspiracy is that humans don't exist. They're the government spies. That's just true. We're all just like, aren't we all just reporting to the government at some point? Like, we have to give them taxes or something like that. Like, that's true. That's not even a conspiracy theory. You should be just join the Dino Earth Society. Right, so let's go ahead and get started. So I'm just going to go ahead and create function. And what are we going to call it? We're just calling it Computus. And it's going to read in a year. Okay. End that function. And down here, we're just going to do Computus for 2020 just to make sure it works. Okay. So what are we going to do here? We want to return. Ooh, let's try this again. Easter is going to be equal to this. And down here, we'll have some sort of Easter date that we return. Okay, so let's just go ahead and grab this guy. Since we have the algorithm here, let's just move this down here, move it over there, and we'll just have it over here on the side. And I'll just kind of work from this. This should be relatively straightforward. I'm going to take some time to figure out like what the best, like maybe some commenting schemes or something like that that could make this a bit easier to understand and stuff like this. This will eventually land itself in the algorithm archive in some way, shape, or form. So it should be pretty clean, but I don't know how pretty clean is, you know? And right, if you guys have any comments, questions, concerns, ideas, anything that you want to talk about, life, liberty, the pursuit of open source software, whatever you want, feel free to chat in the chat, and I'll do what I can to read it when I can. Whoa, okay, that was a lot of redundancy, but hey, welcome to Simuleos. If it was a dinosaur, it died in 2013. What? What are we talking about here? If it was a dinosaur, it died in 2013. Of course, there's an XKCD for that, because there's an XKCD for literally everything nowadays. Geologist. Earth. Okay, fair enough. Okay. Oh man, they're being so loud. I'm going to turn this on. That is nothing. That is absolutely nothing. I can still hear them. They're super loud. Okay, well, let me just try. I don't normally put two headphones in because I get really like paranoid, but I'm gonna try it today. See what happens. I can't talk with both earbuds in. It's really, really difficult, you know? Did you have any thoughts on how you're gonna visualize this? I'm starting right now. So the first thing I'm gonna do is just create a table, and I'm just gonna look at the table, see what it looks like. And then I need to think about how we're gonna visualize the different parts to it. But we'll get there when we get there. So first of all, we read in, I'm just gonna use the notation that we have here. And I'm gonna try to figure out the best way to make this intuitive. You know, it's not particularly intuitive. Okay, so what are we doing? So first of all, he says A is gonna be equal to year. So the mod of year 19. I think that's correct, Julia syntax. Is that correct, Julia syntax? Crap. So let's see, what do we do if we do mod 10, 3, 1? Yep, that seems correct. Okay. So that's the first bit. Let's just get this working, and then we'll go from there. B is going to be mod of year and 4. And let's see, C is going to be equal to mod of year and 7. Okay, so let's get the right date, and then we'll go from there. So K is going to be equal to, what is floor? Is it just floor? Floor of 1.03. Nice. So that'll be floating point precision, but it should be fine. I guess it doesn't really matter. So now we're going to say K is going to be equal to floor of... okay, floor of year over 100. I guess it's just a percentage. And then P is going to be equal to 13. Let's see. Floor of 13. Okay. Plus 8K divided by 25. Okay, and that should be correct, I think. No, that is incorrect. What? No, that's correct. Nice. Okay, so now we're going to say Q is going to be equal to, let's see, what do we have here? Floor of K over 4. Okay. So, what's the idea here? So we have floor of K over 4. Then we have M. And this is the end of the first saga here. So M is going to be equal to 15. Let's see, 15 minus P plus K minus Q. Mod 30. Okay, so just for the record here, this line right here, P equals floor of 13 plus 8K over 25. Actually, it's an interesting thing. So Gauss came up with an algorithm, right, in 1800, and then he had to keep updating it and updating it and updating it. And honestly, like, it wasn't until this statement was put in that it was kind of correct. It was deemed correct for basically any time. Before that statement, it was just wrong for certain years. And he said that we should like we should limit the time in which people use the Easter algorithm to the 18th and 19th century or something like that. And then all of a sudden Gauss's student came in and was like, we can fix that by doing this. So, so this is the first bit. So all of this down here is going to be computing. What are we computing here? Let's see, the approximate tracking of, we'll just say tracking. Let's see, tracking the lunar. Tracking lunar orbiting is going to be the first bit. And then after this, we're going to have the second bit, which is going to be, I think this is a minus, not an equals. The second bit is going to be, let's see, offsetting to obtain a Sunday following the full moon. Finding the next Sunday. Okay, let me go ahead and catch up on chat here. Let's see. No such thing as fish. I'll check that out. What do we have here? What on earth? No such thing as fish is a weekly British podcast. Oh, okay. I didn't realize that was a podcast. Okay. Series produced and presented by researchers behind BBC two-panel game QI. In each edition, each of the researchers, collectively known as the QI elves, present their favorite fact that they have come across that week. Interesting. Nice. I should probably get into that. The smithy needed a hotter forge to round out the edge. That's why it took a while. I totally don't understand what that means, which means I forgot what I said. Do you have any thoughts on how you're going to visualize this? Let's see, around the planet. Oh, okay, I got you. Dinosaur Earth Society. Let's take a look at that. What do we have? So this is basically saying, where is my country on the dinosaur? Okay. Wow. Wow, okay. No, they've got something going there. Yeah, okay. I handle this by folding the divisions and floor operations into a single integer divide. Yeah, we could probably do something like that. I'm just writing something down. Won't do that because he's scared of Unicode. I don't like Unicode. I can use it. I just don't like it, Wind Avengers OpenBox, as was said, there's a slight variation in lunar orbits or leap years or something that'll eventually cause this to break. Yes, the answer is yes. I just don't know when it will break. I think after the correction by Gauss's student, I think after that correction, it actually works for any time, but I know the original 1800 algorithm only worked until 4200. Mostly look at the title explanation. That's where the reason for this thing is. The title here. Or did you mean here? No, here. Wait, what are we talking about? Let's see. That's great. I believe this actually. You believe? It's definitely the shape of Earth, no doubt. It has to be the shape of Earth, right? Man, I wanted to do a series a while ago, going through like all these insane conspiracy theories that clearly don't exist, and just like debunking them in like a kind of brutal fashion, just because I feel like doing it. And this would be like the perfect one to do like on April Fool's Day or something like that, because it's just such a stupid conspiracy theory. It's like, of course this doesn't happen. Like, come on. Like, what are you even talking about here? The no such thing as fish thing. Let's see. Title explanation. The title for No Such Thing as Fish comes from the fact that comes from a fact in the QI TV series. In the third episode of the 8th series, also known as Series H, an episode on the theme hoaxes reported that there's a lifetime studying fish. The biologist Stephen Jay Gould concluded that there was no such thing as fish. He reasoned that although there are many sea creatures, most of them are not closely related to each other. Oh, that's actually kind of interesting. For example, salmon is more closely related to a camel than to a hagfish. The opening of early episodes of the podcast used to feature a recording of the elves mentioning this fact, which appears in the first paragraph of Oxford Encyclopedia of Underwater Life. I mean, he's right, I think, in the fact that, like, we're kind of just clumping anything that's in the ocean as a fish, I guess. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't really have a firm opinion on this. Okay, right. Right. And right. Okay. You could have members of the community submit various forms of proofs of the world's dinosaur shape. Yeah, I've been wanting to do this type of thing, like community interactions, talking about, I don't know. There's a lot of things that we could do. It's valid. It's a valid definition of fish. If it swims, it's a fish. Okay, they're being slightly quieter, so I can take out this headphone and I can kind of talk a bit more. Do you mean to tell me that fish is not a valid taxonomic classification? I mean, I guess not. That's what they're saying over here, right? Like, by definition, there is no fish. Okay, so let's go from here. So now let's go ahead and calculate the next bits, which are going to be n is going to be equal to 4 plus k minus q. Let me try that one again. I don't know what I was trying to do there, but I just can't type today, can I? That just wasn't working. So mod 7. So mod and 7. Why can't I type? I was typing all day, literally all day, nothing but typing, and now I can't do it anymore. So D is going to be equal to, oh my gosh, come on. D is going to be equal to mod of 19a, 19 times a, plus m, 30. Should be something like that. Yeah, I should do that, shouldn't I? Okay, let's just do this. Space these guys out, just you know, because I feel like spacing them out. That's technically following the Yas guide for Julia, so I should do that. Yep, okay. What's the next one? So the next one is E. So it's going to be mod 7. Mod of 2 times B plus 4 times C plus 6 times D. Let's see. Plus N. Mod 7. Okay. So what are we doing next? So, okay. So the next one we're saying, I was calculating E. I don't know what happened there. Okay. And so the next one is Gregorian Easter is 22 plus D plus E, March, or D plus E minus 9, April. So what we're going to return is just return 22 plus D plus E. And I don't remember what the D and the E is exactly in this case. I need to look at the comments again and figure that out. But this should return a date. So let's just see what happens if we write and quit. We go over here to our Julia shell and we just run include. What do we have here? Include, and let's just include computus. Gauss Easter is what I called it. Let's do that. It says 43. Okay. So what does that mean? If it's 43, that means that we're at D plus E minus 9. Let's just do, okay, that didn't work out, did it? So I don't know what that means in these units. So probably we want to return a tuple where we have either March or April. Yeah, I need to think about that, don't I? Well, let's just do D plus E minus 9. Okay, 9 here. We'll just return our tuple, and then we'll just include. And it's 43 or 12, and April 12 is the correct date. So this is working. I'm just going to clear this. So we do know that April 12th is the correct date for 2020. So this algorithm is working. Now it's just a matter of figuring out what happens if we just return. So let's see, 22 plus D plus E. Really, all we care about is the D plus E. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to return D plus E from this. But I'm going to leave where it was. I'm just going to put a 22 here. And I'm going to comment this out, and I'm just going to return, and we're going to return D plus E. Okay? That way we have something that we can kind of plot and see what happens. Let me go and catch up here. What do we have here? I missed a lot of chat. Also, fun fact, 4 has 4 letters. Right. So there's that thing. What was it? What is it? It's basically that. What is it? It's so if you have a number, right? And so like if your number is 7, so you say SEVEN, right? That's 5. And then you say FIVE, that's 4. And then FORE you'll always be stuck on 4. So the idea is if you have like a number in your head, no matter what the number is, if you say the number out loud, or rather, if you count the number of characters in that number, and you then count the number of characters in the numbers of characters of the previous number, and you keep going further and further and further, eventually you'll get to 4. That sounds dumb. I hope that made sense. But yeah, anyway, it's a conspiracy theory. I can prove that E equals pi because roughly equals, roughly equals, oh, so E equals 2 equals 3 equals pi. Okay, that's not really a conspiracy theory. That's just math. Check it out on GitHub. I want to argue that statement, but I don't know how to make the symbol. Oh, it's called proof by terse notation. That's exactly how math works. I think that's the only way math works. Let's see. Wait until you start doing a proof by interpretation. Okay, so what do we have here? So if I run include Gauss Easter, I need to write this. Okay, we get 21. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a series of years, I suppose. So let's go ahead and just do years. How many years do we want to go here? Let's just do from 1800 to 1900. So we're going to say Julia, or we're going to say A is going to be equal to, A is going to be equal to a range from 1800. Well, let's just say I for I equals 1800 to 1900. Okay? Something like this should work. So here's our range of dates. And then we're going to say, I think we can map. How are we going to map this? Oh, I'm so bad at Julia. I need to learn Julia. Ordinarily, I would say we can just do computus dot A. Oh, dot A. Nice. Okay, that worked okay. So now we're going to say, what are we going to say? Dates. It's going to be equal to that. Now what do I want to do? So now we have a list of dates, and I want to plot this. So I'm going to do using plots. Add plots. Oh, no, I just forgot the capital. Using plots. There we go. And then I'm just going to plot it, and we're going to see what that looks like. Let's see. A math course on MIT OpenCourseWare presented a proof by PowerPoint method. Yeah, I believe it. Let me get some water. So after this, we should be able to plot all of the dates of Easter. All of the dates of Easter from 1800 to 1900. And then we just have to make this into like some sort of 2D table so we can recreate Servois table or whatever. I meant PowerPoint is Turing complete. Oh, it is definitely Turing complete. There are plenty of videos out there that prove PowerPoint is Turing complete. It's a big thing that, what was it? Numberphile and crew decided to do. So let's just go ahead and plot dates. And then we should get some sort of weird squiggly plot. I don't know what this is going to look like, honestly. We're just plotting it. I should probably have done a scatter plot, but I don't care that much. And then we have to think about how we're going to visualize this. So I want to try the table first. And then when the table fails, there you have it. Dates of Easter. So when the table fails, we'll then go from there. Okay. So now what do we need to do? So we have that. I want to turn it into a 2D array. So how do I go from a 1D array to a 2D array? I just reshape it. So we're going to say reshape. And I should be able to do this, dates. And we want to reshape it onto, it's going to be 20 by 10. Or maybe 10 by 20. That's probably what I'm looking for. That doesn't exist? Okay, it's reshape here. What? What is the size of dates? It's size 101 element array. How does that make sense? It was of length 1800 to 1900. So it should be 200, right? Oh, did I do something dumb? When I defined A? A is defined... A is going to be a 101 element array. Oh, let's do 2000. Well, nah, doesn't matter. We have 1800 and 1900. It's okay. So we reshape dates as a 10 by 10 array. Size 101. Okay. let's do this again. Let's do 1999. Okay, now we're 200 elements, and then we're gonna say dates are gonna be equal to computers of A, and then we're gonna reshape this into 10 by 20. Okay, now we're gonna heat map that. Oh, I think I did this backwards. Whatever, heat map of dates, and let's see what happens. Crap. No method matching size, nothing. Oh, dates? Oh, reshaped dates. It's gonna be equal to this. Now we're gonna heat map reshaped. Okay, come on. Nice. Okay, so that's Sir Voice's table. That looks. I don't think this is useful at all, honestly. Okay, let me go ahead and catch up on chat, and then we'll go from there. I don't think it's useful at all. I can't see how this could possibly be used. Yeah. Okay, I'll think about it a bit. A math course on MIT. Let's see. Get back to work. I think LaTeX is Turing complete. I think so too. In fact, I'm almost positive it is. If I remember correctly, you can inject Visual Basic script in PowerPoint as well as Excel. Oh, I didn't know that. The normal faculties of both programs are already Turing complete. I like the heat map. Make colors better though. I can make the colors better, at least in Duplot. I don't know how to do it in Julia. Name for a wall print. It's probably trivial to implement Rule 110 in Excel. So let's make this bigger and see if there's anything better. So let's do, how do I want to do this? So the way you read that table is such that I split it up into decades. So there were 2 decades put together. So if we do 1,000 years, yeah, let's do 1,000 years, okay? So we're going to say A is going to be equal to, let's do from 1,000 to 1999. So that's going to be 1,000 years, right? And then we're going to do B. Dates is going to be computers of A. We're going to say reshape dates, and this is going to be 100 by 100. Okay. That's not how 1,000 works at all, actually. I don't know why I thought that would work. I need a square number. We could do 10,000. Let's do 10,000 years of Easter. I don't know if this will work, because I don't think Easter algorithm works that far. But we'll keep going. So now we're going to do reshaped. What am I doing? Why am I such an idiot? This needs to be 1. How many elements is that? Oh, I guess... what are we doing here? There we go. 10,000 years of Easter. Let's go. And now we're going to say dates here. Reshape dates. There we go. And now we're going to heat map that. Okay. That is still completely useless. Yeah, that's completely useless. It gives us no information. Let me go ahead and catch up on chat. What is Rule 110, actually? I don't know what that is. By the way, Pedro Allen Reves, thank you so much for following. Really appreciate it. Let's see, maybe. That looks awesome. It's just... Okay, I mean, I guess some people think it looks cool. I posted a clip above. Oh, this clip. Okay. Sorry, I sometimes miss stuff. What is this? Right. And so, like, if your number is 7, so you say S-V-E. Right? I misspelled 4? Oh, man, I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. Oh, well. My bad. We can change the color scheme. How do you change the color scheme in Julia? I don't know how to do that. It's too complicated. Plots. I never know how to do any of this, honestly. Plots of JL, heat map. Come on. I know how to do this in new plot. Why don't I just do it in new plot? Is this actually the page I was supposed to be on? Oh, okay. Maybe it is. How do I use one of these? I have no idea. That's not how you spell heat map, but maybe it understood. Okay. Oh, well. So string, how do I change the color? Thank you. I mean, we can take a look at this a bit more. So basically what you just saw was a century of centuries of Easter, essentially. Oh, ST is what I'm looking for? Okay. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Color gradient, C grad, show library, see libraries. Yeah, brain melting, massive parallel computing, hypers. That's about where I am. Let's see, Forklifting 1 and Miguel Mirk, you. Thank you so much for following. Really appreciate it. I apologize if I'm butchering people's names. I'm not trying to. I'm just very bad at reading. So, hey, BioESB, how are you? I hope you're having a wonderful day. I would suggest calculating the periodicity of this function and then graphing according to that. Right. So let me change the color scheme, and then we'll kind of plot it a bit and see what we can get here. How do I just change the color scheme? Yeah, I know that, but how do I make the colors? How do I change the color bar? That's all I'm asking. Change label of color bar, add color bar subplot, map plot, pie plot color bar. Come on! This can't be, this isn't rocket science. Like how do I just change the color bar? I set in color scale and plots. Plot x2. Oh, there it was. Was that what I was looking for? It's the color is gray. No, you would think. I know colors are complicated. Colors are always complicated with plotting. I understand, but like color schemes. So color gradients are arranged into color libraries. To get a list of color libraries, use C libraries function. Okay. So there's our guy. So if we just run C libraries, okay. Here we get okay. That is nothing. That gives us a bunch of symbols. 1 second. 1 second. Okay, I just got a message from someone that I kind of need to respond to, but I'll get to them. I might have to end stream a bit early. Let's figure out this color bar thing, plot the periodicity, get a bit crazier with this, and then we'll go from there. Doing okay? How are you doing? I'm doing okay. Obviously just calculate the periodicity of this function and then graphing according to that. Let's see. Yeah, so I want to try that in just a bit. Let me get the colors here, and then we'll go from there. Just for the record, like, yeah, I don't know. It's good. Things are going okay. It's just my neighbors are being kind of loud, and actually they just kind of calmed down a bit, so it's getting a bit better. I see no colors here. Like, what are these colors? What I'm gonna do actually is let me just use. Okay. How do I change the color bar? They give us all of these guys, but how do I use them? That's my question. How do I use the color bars? Color maps? No, this isn't what I'm looking for, I don't think. What are these numbers? Okay. I might have to ask someone how to do this. That I might have to ask someone, like, just how do I change the color? That might be something I have to do. What do we have? Let's see. Using plots, heat map. Okay, well, I guess, guys, we're just gonna have to deal with this color scheme for now. I can't seem to figure out how to get it to work. Sorry about that. I have an old Perl CPAN module that has the craziest math for making rainbows. Oh, dude, yeah. Like, rainbows are super cool. Pretty complicated. I do not math. I just organize. Let's see. So, colors. Color names. Series, line color, fill color, marker color. Color schemes. Color gradients are arranged. I was just here. To get a list of color libraries, use C libraries function. To get a list of color gradients in each library, so I would do C gradients of library. So how do I just use this blue sky? Like, what do I read in to make that work? Like, where are the plots? Where are the functions to create these plots? That's my question. Can I just do this? Like, will this work? Heat map. No. Color equals blues. Okay, that seemed to work. I just had to guess, but it seemed to work. So now how do I find other things? So let's do, what did it say? It said if I look for C gradients of library, the library. So let's just do MISC. Okay, let's try this. Okay, and let's just make this light rainbow. That's what we'll do. Nice. Okay, so this is a perfect color scheme. If anyone says otherwise, I mean, I'm sorry, but you're banned from this chat. This is super ugly. Okay, let's do some FFTs on this, see what we get. You do something like C equals grad, blue, white, red, yellow. Yeah, I guess I could have, but I didn't because I'm an idiot. They never give you useful examples. Well, I just needed the code. Like, if I would have just had the code, we could have gone from there. It might work if it was smaller. I can't decide on what color that is. You have a whole bar. You have a whole bar to choose from, man. Like, you don't have to decide. Pick any color in the rainbow. Let's see. We have greens, rainbow, Junograd. What's Junograd? Junograd. I don't think any color will make this look pretty. But I am interested in something Gibbous said. I do want to plot the... Did I just delete a terminal? Crap, I think I just deleted a terminal somehow. Where did that terminal go? What? Hello? Okay. Let's open one up. Okay. Let's go. That was an accident. Yellow, no blue. Ejected from bridge. That's exactly how this is. So let's plot the periodicity. So we have dates, right? I'm just going to do plot of the absolute value of dot of FFT of B. See what happens. Dates. Using FFTW. I want to see if there is some sort of like, you saw the plot before. I just want to see. So here, let's go ahead and plot dates. Right. So this is what we have right now, which is just a mess. So I want to see if the Fourier transform of this gives us anything, and it might actually. That's a bit more interesting than I thought. I don't know how to interpret this data. Oh, that was not. My mouse keeps double clicking for Pete's sake. What are we looking at here? So, okay, we know it's symmetric. So really, we only have to worry about the frequencies from here to there. Let's dissect this in a bit. Games for stream, thank you so much for following. Really appreciate it. The period of this function is non-trivial and probably very long. So what's interesting is that we have a bunch of peaks. So we have a peak here, 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 here. How many peaks do we have? So we have one big peak there that we can ignore. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Does that mean anything? Are there like, no, I don't think that means anything. How many Sundays are there? Right, so there's two levels of periodicity here, right? Because there's the one periodic thing where you're modulo 7, right? Like you have to always be on a Sunday. And then there's the other. I'm interested to see something. Okay. Freaking. Deleted the terminal again. Okay. My mouse keeps double clicking and it's a pain. CD projects, Simuleos, and then we're going to go into Computus. I'm interested in plotting. So if we go into this, GaussEaster.jl, there's two variables here. There's M, and then there's E, D and E. So we just plotted D and E, but I'm interested in plotting M. So I'm going to go ahead and do that really quick. So I'm just going to return M from this, and then we're going to run include Computus, Gauss Easter or whatever. And I'm going to say A is going to be equal to this, but I'm going to call it B instead of A. And then I'm going to say, let's just call it M's is what I'm going to call it. I know that's a really dumb name, but I don't really know what we're going to call it. And we're just say Computus dot of B. And now what I'm going to do is I want to plot the FFT of, what did I call it? M's. Okay. So this is also kind of interesting, but maybe not in the way that I thought. There is what I was expecting, right? Because M was supposed to be some sort of link to some sort of periodic orbit of the moon in something, right? So it was supposed to be related to the lunar calendar, right? So I was expecting to see some sort of periodicity in this, but we didn't, right? And that's the thing that I find kind of interesting. D plus E. Meanwhile, if we plot, where are we? This, we find all these peaks, right? And I just don't know where the peaks are coming from. Because there's clearly some sort of, what is happening? Okay, let me try something else then. I'm going to do an FFT2D. So we're going to heat map of, what was it called? It was called reshaped dates. So we'll do absolute value dot of FFT of reshaped dates. See what this outputs. Okay. I don't know if this is interesting or not. I have no idea what we're even looking at. But you see, we have, again, these peaks around here, and I just feel like there's something. I feel like there's something that needs to be... There has to be some reason for this periodicity, right? Let's see. Vitalized TV, thank you so much for following. Really appreciate it. Right. So, my guess from looking at the algorithm... Yeah, go ahead. What's your guess? Let me go ahead and catch up on chat. It's a fractal. It's definitely not a fractal. We're very far from it being a fractal. He's good for adding one widget. Adding multiple widgets is hella hard, so we'll just ignore that part. Let's see. It might work if it was smaller. I can't decide on what color that is. I'm trying to calculate it mathematically. Let's see. The lunar cycle, the cycle of leap years, and the cycle of weekdays are all co-prime. So this is their length. So their lengths are multiplying together. So their lengths are multiplying together. I don't know why, but Jerry coming in and being like, wow, they're all co-prime just got me. Like, this is, oh, jeez, I love this community. They're so cool. 7,431-ish. Yeah, so you're right. So you're saying that there's some sort of periodicity in the... Their lengths are multiplying together. So, okay, maybe. I feel like maybe I'm not smart enough to figure out if there's any information to be gleaned from... I deleted the terminal again. My mouse keeps double clicking and I just can't anymore. CD projects, Simuleos. What on earth? Okay, let's go. Computus. All right, this is like the 4th time I've done this today. Actually, the number of days in 400 years is a multiple of 7. Yeah, it has to be, right? No. Wait, what? Let me think. The number of days in 400 years is a multiple of 7. $365 times 400 divided by 7. Is it? Let's see. Good evening. No, it doesn't have to be. That's not the right... 365 times 4... Oh, 99 leap days. Yeah, dog. Let's go. Didn't help. What? 365 times 400 plus 99 leap days. Is an extra day every 4 years, except 100 years, except... There's an extra day every 4 years, except every 100 years, except every 400... Okay. I'm lost. So 97 leap days, maybe? That's divisible. Let's go. My Windows Manager is open box. Yeah, that's correct. I should just list that down below. A lot of people ask about it. I just have it set up so it's kind of semi-tiled. What if you say 1 year is 365.25 days? That should work, right? 365.25 times 400 divided by 7. How many FPS is that? Why do you need FPS? Like, I'm working on a terminal. Under what situation do I need, like, glorious 60 FPS and 4K resolution? That's not what I need. You have an off by 1 error, I think. -1. +1. I don't know, man. So try making a graph 400 years wide. Yeah, I can make the graph 400 years wide. So let's just say A is going to be 1600. So 400 by 400, that's going to be 4 zeros and then a 16. Is that correct? 400 times 4. Yeah, that should be correct. And then we're going to say dates are going to be equal to... Dates are going to be equal to computers of A. What? Okay, we'll just... Oh, right, because I changed computers, right? Because I'm an idiot. Let's write that. Go over here. Include that. And now we're going to say days of computers of A. Right, that's what I was looking for. And now we're going to do a reshaped dates is going to be equal to reshape of this. And it's going to be 400 by 400. And then we're going to heat map. Reshape dates. Junograd. What was I supposed to find with this? I'm so sorry. Try making a graph 400 years wide. -1 for the first century, -1 for the second century, -1 for the third century. Wait, what? I'm so bad at time. Okay, so Gibbous, why did I make this graph? Why does everyone here know more than I do? Come on. Oh, jeez. Okay. You have an off by 1 error, I think. So try making a graph 400 years wide. It's 400 years wide and 400 years long. There might be a pattern in it. Oh, yeah. Let's check the periodicity then. Actually, you know what? It's starting to grow on me. Maybe not this color. Like maybe we do blues or something like that. It's starting to grow on me. Like I don't hate it as much as I thought. It looks like someone tried to make an ocean in ASCII. Or not ASCII, but they tried to make an ocean in pixel graphics, and this is what it came out to be. Like that's kind of what it looks like. I don't know if you can see it on your screen, but I don't know. Like it's growing on me. It was nicer when it was smaller. I'll do a 10 by 10 again then. Yeah, let's check the periodicity. So we're gonna do heat map of we want to do the FFT of the reshape dates. Okay. There's like a dot here, a dot here, a dot there. But none of them really, I'm not seeing any like pattern that I'm aware of. Maybe I'm just an idiot and I'm missing something. Procedurally generated waves using dates of Easter. You want to publish a paper on this? This is the ocean. Jesus walked over on his birthday. Whoa. Did he? I don't think that was part of the. I don't think he walked over water on. I don't think that happened. It's periodic to part of the equation. There may be a pattern to it. Let me try. Yeah, let me just do the plot. This. See if there's something else here. So here's this plot again. And I am still not able to understand what's happening. I think the modulo operation is just like there is periodicity to the modulo operation. What if we do an FFT modulo? You can do a number theoretic transform, which is essentially an FFT based on some modulo operation. So maybe if we... I'm spending too long on this, you know? I'm spending way too long on this. I don't know if there's a good way to interpret this data. Maybe there isn't. But I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say. You know, like if there's something interesting that you can see that you could do with this that I'm missing, definitely let me know. I'm more than interested in trying to find good intuitive ways to think about how we're going to do this. I do want to plot Servois's table, which is just going to be, just for the record, if we do A is going to be equal to, his table is usually from, it's a 10 by 10 table, and it's usually just over 1 century. So his table is usually 1800 to 1899. That should be a list of 100 elements. And his table is usually going to be dates is equal to that. Reshaped dates is going to be equal to 10 by 10. And then we just heat map that. That. So this is his table. Granted, his table has... actually, let's just bring it over here and show you our table versus his table. Because it should be the same. Where is his table? Nope. Nah, there it is. So these two tables are identical. These have numbers. This is color. Are they identical? They should be. If not, I screwed something up. They should be identical, though. And they look like they are, maybe. It's really hard to tell because should I also change the month? Maybe I should change the month as well. So the problem is this, like 9 here is clearly in April, but 18 is also in April. 29, let me look at another date. 22 down here could be in March or April, and it's not clear to me which one it is. So, right, there's some things here that I'm kind of, I don't really fully understand. But is there a way for me to just check the diagonals, maybe, to see if this is correct? It says 26 down here, but there's no way that's 26. One. Oh, right. So 22 is going to be the minimum. So 22 is going to be 0. So the 0 should be here. Is that correct? Is that the right spot? There's a 22 here, and another 22. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't actually know how to look at this data. There's a 0 here. No, this isn't the same data. There's no way. There's a clearly different... Crap. I have no idea what I'm looking at here. Okay, so basically, so this is 1800. So like, this is the decade. So it's year 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And this is the 100th place. I guess this is the year. This is the decade. So 1800, 1801, 1802, 1803, 1804, 1805. That's what you're looking for. Yeah, maybe it's flipped. Let's see. If it's flipped, I think 22 should be the minimum. I'm pretty sure 22 is the minimum. So I don't know anymore because there's also -9 on the right. So the actual formula, if you look at the actual formula, in the end, they actually the Gregorian Easter is 22 plus D plus E for March, or D plus E minus 9 for April. And if D is equal to 29 and E is equal to 6, we replace the 26th of April with the 19th of April. If D is equal to the 28th and E is equal to the 6th, and 11M plus 11 modulo 30 less than 19, we replace 25 of April with the 18th of April. For the Julian Easter in the Julian calendar, M equals 15 and N equals 16. For the Julian Easter in the Julian calendar. What? What does that mean? Oh, for the Julian calendar, not Gregorian calendar. Duh. Oh, man. I love this stream. It's amazing. Okay, so what do we have here? Let me catch up on chat. I just crunched with Wolfram Alpha. The period of the M term is 2400 for some reason. That makes sense. Because if the period is 2400, I know... No, that doesn't make any sense. The 1800 algorithm only worked to year 4200. After that, I think it stops working, and I think the update for this p variable made it so it could go beyond 4200. I think that's what we're looking at. They're the first. Oh, maybe that's it. Yeah. /life. You might be right. Okay, let me just take a look at this again in a second. Yunsen, what up, chat? Let's see. Looks like someone had a little too much time playing with chess knights. ISSH into it when he sleeps. Wait, what? I missed a lot here. What are we talking about? We know his exact system. It's off when I sleep. Looks like someone had too much time playing with chess. What up, chat? So Gregorian Easter dates repeat exactly the same order after every 5,700,000 years. I'm not sure if the calculation was as simple as you're describing it. No. I mean, he's right. This cycle, this cycle is 5,700,000. That's how long that's the cycle. Right. So does that mean I have to plot the entire 5,700,000? What happens if I plot the entire 5,700,000 year cycle and we do a Fourier transform of that? That should give us all of the spectral components, right? And if we have all the spectral components, maybe there's something we could do there. I don't know. I don't know. So let's take a look at this this guy again. See what we have. And let me pull this up. Okay, what do we have? So you're saying, let me see if I'm understanding this correctly. You're saying the y's and y's are flipped, right? So 9, 7, 6, 4, 2, 1, 30, 29, 27, 26. Yeah, it looks like that's probably correct. So now we do 29, 18. Is that correct? 29 should be, if this is 18, that's correct. So it should be 18 and 29. This should be 18. So the next one should be 29, and this should be the same color as that. Nope. No matter what you do, that breaks down at that point. Okay. Yep. This is broken. Whatever I did here, this isn't working. Let's catch up on chat. Okay. I thought what I did is I just typed the function into Wolfram Alpha and added the word period, and it figured it out. I mean, that's pretty cool, man. I thought you meant something else. Sorry. By the way, I don't know if you guys know this, but Wolfram Alpha actually streams here on Twitch. Oh, we have numerical output. Why didn't I just look at that? Here's our numerical output. Let me fix this then. So what are we going to do? We have Easter here. So instead of returning this, let's go ahead and do this. So we have number equals, this is dumb. I know this is dumb. D plus E. And let's get the exact dates that we have in the Servoises table. So we're going to have to go here and let's implement these last if statements that we needed. I'm going to leave this in there. And what we're looking for, is to figure out whether it's in April or March. Now, how do we know if it's in April or March? That's the question. It's going to be 22 plus D plus E March, or D plus E minus 9 April. Let's just return the tuple. Okay? So if we return the tuple, this will give us most of the numbers correctly. So let's write and quit here. Well, we didn't even have to write and quit. Open this up and let's do A, and then we're going to say dates is going to be equal computus of A, and then we're going to say reshaped dates is going to be equal to this. This should be the same table. Is it? No. Nope, it's clearly wrong. Crap. Okay, we did something wrong. Let's figure that out. It must be a typo, right? Year mod 19, year mod 4, year mod 7, floor of year over 100, P is equal to 13 plus 8k. Does that work? 8? Do I have to have a times? Please tell me that's not... I mean, Julia should know, right? I mean, most modern programming languages understand. Oh, I must be caps. Okay. Now we're going to say floor of k over 4. Yep. 15 minus p plus k minus q mod 30, right? Mod of 4 plus k minus q, 7. 19 times a plus m, 30, right? 2b, 4c, 6d, n mod 7. Right, okay, so let's write this. And let's go over here. And let's see what we got here. So, oh, I forgot to include. That probably did it. So let's do dates is equal to this. That'll give us some tuples. And now we're just going to reshape those guys. And then we'll have some tuples to look at. And let's see if we have anything similar to what we're expecting. So I'm just going to take this guy, move it over here a bit. And look at that array we'll just put it over here, I guess. Yep, there we go. Perfect array. So it's either the 44th of March or the 13th of April, and both of those are wrong. There is no corner here that is the 44th of March or the 13th of April. Nice. Okay, let's figure this out. What else could I have done wrong? It is going to be 22 plus D plus E for March, or D plus E minus 9 for April. Let's plug in the year 1777 and see if we get the right date. And they're saying it's going to be the 30th of March. So if we do include, we get the 30th of March. What? What? Okay. Violet's TV, I don't know if I said thanks for following, but thanks for following. The function for m terms, I missed a lot. The function for m terms with the ones for p, q, and k folded in. Right. Okay. Join us Discord. Let's see. 4 plus floor of 100 is equivalent for n. You said 4 plus floor of x over 100 minus floor of... Yeah, this should still be fine. The only language I've used where that worked was Mathematica. I accidentally clicked another stream and now must wait through an ad. I'm so sorry. Right, so what's the issue here? I mean, maybe 1777 works. Am I just misreading the table? Okay, let's just do 1800. Okay. We're just going to include that guy. It's wrong. Whatever we have is clearly... Let's just use Gauss's original algorithm. Which says floor of k over 3 for p. Okay. So it's going to be floor of k over 3. Let's just see what that does. Does this provide us the date we're expecting for that table? Include? Nope. I don't understand. Right, maybe it is using the Julian calendar. And if it's using the Julian calendar, what do we have to do? So what we're going to do is we're going to add in an additional argument here, which is going to say calendar type is going to be equal to Gregorian. And I guess we're just going to say, let's call it a string. Why not? Okay. So if we're Gregorian, what's the change? So for Julian Easter, the Julian calendar, m equals 15 and n equals 16. Okay. So that means if cal type is going to be equal to Gregorian here, then we're going to do all this calculation down to m, and then else. Oh, probably just that. M is going to be equal to 15. End there. Okay. All right. If cal type is Gregorian, what's the other one? So the other one is an n equals 6. I guess I have to define... for scoping reasons. I will also do n equals 0, whatever, I don't care. And I'll just pop this in here, up here for now. Just to... n equals 6. Okay, something like this then. And let's see what we get. So we're going to say cal type is going to be equal to Julian. dt here. Let's say Julian, which doesn't matter. I mean, include. No method mentioned computers in64 cal type equals Julian. That's because I didn't go up here and define cal type. Probably should have made a type or something like that. A not defined. Right, that's a scoping issue. How would I just do this then? This is dumb, but I'm gonna do it this way. We are gonna do dd here, paste it there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're gonna do d5. Ooh, d5d. We're gonna paste that here. Okay. I'm gonna repeat some code, but again, we're just trying to get something working right now. So there, 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 and there. So now down here, we're just gonna do paste it again. Oh, what was this? Yank 6 yank. 5. And we're gonna paste this down here. Okay. Sorry, let me get this done, and then n is gonna be equal to 6, so we can just dd there and paste there. dd there, write that to go over here. We should be able to include now. Let me catch up on chat. Let's see. Those strings I punch into Wolfram Alpha. Let's see. Oh wait, you're talking about 8K thing. Might the table using Julian calendar. This won't work as A, B, and C are using the calculation of D as well as E. Right. But oh. Okay, fine. So let's just do yank 3 yank, and we're just gonna paste this down here. Guys, I understand. You came here to look at people programming. That is what you're seeing. You are seeing people programming. Now, look, if you came here to see good programming, that's not... I advise you to look at any other streamer on Twitch. Literally any other streamer has better programming content than this stream. Now, I realize a lot of streamers on Twitch are streaming gaming, and I still think that holds true. There are a lot of other people who are doing much better at programming than I am simply by not programming at all. That is exactly the type of content you're watching here on Twitch. The stream is super glitchy for anyone else. I'll check if I'm dropping frames. I'm not dropping any frames. So, let me see. What do we have here? I have quality options. I don't know. I have no idea. Hey, Core FDW, how are you? Right, so we put in the year 1800. We said the calendar type was Julian instead of Gregorian. So let's just to make sure, let's put in the Gregorian calendar, make sure we still get the dates that we had before. So we're going to do DT here, and we're just going to do Gregorian over here, include. We get 44 and 13, just to make sure it's correct for our time. Let's go put in 2020. Right, that seems correct. Okay, so now we're going to do 1800 again. And we get, what? Okay, so now we're going to try putting in Julian. It says 8, but we know from this table it's 9. I'm off by 1. Is there any way? Okay, let me try 1811. Okay, if I'm off by 1 consistently, then no, I'm not off by 1 consistently. Dang it. That is a good /life. Why does the Gregorian calculation return floats while the Julian returns ints? That's simply because there is a division here and here, and there are no divisions here. So this guy can stick with ints, whereas there are divisions here. And floor will naturally output... floor actually outputs floats in Julia. As weird as that might seem, that's just what it does. This is useful for other things, you know, like if you ever use this in other languages, you know, it's like that. Like you can understand why you'd want it to be floats if you're used to doing calculations like this in other languages where sometimes like ints and floats do weird things when put together. It's just a weird thing. Okay, so no matter what we do, we get the correct date for 2020 with this algorithm, but we get the incorrect date for 1800. However, I'm not convinced this was actually the correct date for 1800. This is a table that is known to be wrong. So right. Maybe this table is wrong. Maybe that's the whole thing. Maybe this table is wrong. Yeah, do that with your method, because I know you got the same answer for April, or for 2020. So what I'm saying is that with the Gregorian calendar, the date for Easter in 1800 gives you April 13th. And I also get April 13th. So that means whatever we're looking at does not provide the same results as in this table. Now, I am keen to believe that this table would be the dates of the actual... How did they get this? What did they do? Where did these numbers come from? Yeah, links are allowed. Please post a link if you want. Oh, I mean, like, don't post like a naughty link. Like, don't post a link to like, I don't know, like dogslickingpeanutbutter.com or something like that. But you know, like, reverse engineer it for the MAA.org. What is the MAA.org? Census.gov, 1800 April. Well, that was a waste of 30 minutes. That has to be... So what is this table? What am I looking at? Now, what did Servois do with Gauss's algorithm? Servois used Gauss' 1800 algorithm to create an efficient table which could calculate the date of the paschal full moon without any... Okay, I understand now. It's, he's... He's not calculating the date of Easter. That's why. He's not calculating the date of Easter. He's calculating the date of the full moon. And Easter comes the Sunday after that, right? So he's actually outputting here. He's not outputting... He's outputting M. Let me output M and see what we get here. So if we return... we return M. Okay? And now we're going to include this. We get 23. Okay, now we've got to, what number are we looking for? 9? If we do, if we do, something to 22 or 23, we will get 9. If we subtract... How do we get 9? This is too complicated, right, man? Like, actually, I'm gonna be honest. Calculating the date of Easter, like, fundamentally pushed the boundary of human knowledge forward for centuries. So, like, the way I see it, the fact that we're struggling with this for 2 hours is probably on par with that. You know, like, this is something that some of the smartest mathematicians of the time, like some of the smartest mathematicians, people that you know about, Gauss, struggled with this for years, you know? So, like, this isn't easy. And the fact that people think it's easy is just indicative of the society that we live in, you know? Like, people think things are easy when, in fact, they're quite difficult. And dealing with calendars and stuff like that is a difficult problem, like, no doubt. According to Wolfram Alpha, April 13 Gregorian is April 1st Julian. That's not guaranteed to be a Sunday. Right, so I'm pretty sure this table is calculating the full moon, right? Which would mean the 13th would be the first Sunday after the full moon, which would be the date you celebrate Easter. Cool. So now how do we calculate that full moon date? I thought that's what M was, but now apparently I'm wrong. The first part consists of determining the variable D, the number of days, for the closest following full moon to occur. Oh. Output D. 19. No, dang. Dang. Calculated Easter was a Raymond hypothesis in the 19th century. Hey, from Z, how are you? Ah, man. How do we get 9? Under what situation can we turn this number into 9? Okay, so it says, so the first part consists of determining the variable D, which is the number of days counting from March 21st for the closest following full moon to occur. So what this is saying is that there are 19 days since March. Oh, okay, I got it. So we'll do, it's 19 days. So we're going to do 21 plus 19. Okay. And then we're going to minus 31. Got it. Boom. Look at that. We found it. That's how you got 9. No, I mean, okay. Hence minus 31. That's 9. That is 9. We got it. Panel 2, thank you so much for following. Okay, so he output D, which is the number of days from March 21st that the next full moon would be in. So let's do it. So we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and set the default here to Gregorian. Just to make sure we're doing the right computation. We're going to include this guy. Where's our last include statement? And then what we're going to do is we're going to do the whole A is going to be equal to A equals this. So it's going to be a date of 100 years. And then what are we going to do? We're going to plot this. So I think I'm just going to do dates again. Is equal to computus.a. This will output all the D's. And then we're going to do reshaped dates is equal to that. And we're going to do a heat map there. Okay. This would be then, if I got this correctly, the date of all the Paschal full moons. So what am I looking for? This color and that color are the same, which would mean that, wait, what am I looking at here? It should be 9, 29, 20. Yeah, look at that. Okay, cool. So this then is the table. It's rotated by 90 degrees and offset a bit, but these are all the numbers. All the numbers are correct, which means we can reshape this into this table. Got it. Yeah. On a completely unrelated note, here's a number 12, 8, 9, and I need to leave. All right, see you, Trash Shark. Have a wonderful evening. I know it's kind of late for people in Europe, so I hope you guys are having a wonderful evening. And I think this is a pretty good place to wrap it up, actually, for today's stream. Let's go ahead and see who is online. Since we figured out how to recreate Sir Voice's table, we've got Laboratory 424, Tim, Poku Miro. I like her. She's a good artist. I like her a lot. You don't have to. I mean, it's fine. Super MC Gamer, I don't know. Like, if there's somebody that you want me to raid at the end of stream, feel free to let me know. If not, that's okay. I'll pick someone on my own, out of my own pocket, I guess. But yeah, so this is a pretty good place to stop because we did manage to recreate this table. I know it looks kind of weird, but I promise it is the same table. Just to be clear, let's just output the numbers here. So it's, what are we going to have to do here to get these numbers to be, oh, no, they are the same. Here's 9 down here. I need to think about this. I swear they were the same, but now I need to think about it a bit. So what we need to do, these are the days offset from March 21st. So what we're going to do is we're going to say reshaped dates, dates, plus, dot plus, 21. Okay. And then what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to say if, I'm going to have to map something. Oh, crap. What do I do here? So I'm going to map a ternary operator onto all of these guys. We need to map a ternary operator on. So, what was the function even look like? If X is greater than, 31. Oh, it's just mod 31. Yeah, let's do mod 31. So we're going to do mod dot of reshaped dates 31. Okay. And so here's our list of numbers here. And if we move this over here, okay, so I'll make it a bit bigger to see if people can see it. Huge, I guess. And I'll move this down, move this up. And what do we have here? So 9, 9, 19. No, I thought I had it. Dang. Turns out I didn't have it. Turns out I'm an idiot. Crap. Okay, I'll keep twiddling my thumbs a bit and poking my fingers at the keyboard and see what we can get here. Right. Okay, well, that's disappointing. I'll just kind of move this down here. Just pretend that didn't happen. Okay, anyway, this is where I'm ending. I'm a bit shot for the day. I know it's a short stream, but I'm a bit shot. Anyway, guys, the time zone is Eastern Daylight Time. So it is currently 7, almost 8 o'clock in the evening, my time. I'm gonna try to stream from 6 to 8 o'clock p.m. During this time zone on most days, provided I don't get like a noise complaint or something like that saying I need to stop. I realize this is a bit hard for a lot of people in Europe to meet this time. I think I'm going to try to do some streams over the weekend as well that are a bit better for people in Europe, but we'll see how that goes. Flask and Immutable Object, thank you guys so much for following. And I guess we will raid. We could raid Tim. We haven't talked to Tim in a while. Let's do Tim. Actually, I feel like we should do Tim. That'd be nice. Or Lana. We could do Tim or Lana. Which one do you guys prefer, Tim or Lana? SitD, thank you so much for following. So they're both game devs. Or we could do Laboratory 424. He does like sciencey stuff. He's pretty cool. Poku does art. I'm a big fan of art streamers as well. Okay, what do you guys reckon? Art, game dev, game dev 2, or sciencey stuff. If you guys have an opinion, feel free to say so in the chat. Sciencey stuff. All right, that sounds like what we'll do. And I think that's it for today. So let's go ahead and start doing, thanks to Core FTW, let's go. So we're going to raid Laboratory 424. That is it for the day, guys. Thank you so much for coming in. Have a wonderful day, night, afternoon, morning, evening, whatever time it happens to be your time. And I will see you guys around next time for the next episode of Simuleos. Again, 6 o'clock p.m. EDT. This is the time I'm going to try to make work out for this particular stream, and I hope to see you there, where hopefully we do some more visualizations of what the Easter algorithm is exactly doing, and hopefully turn that into a YouTube video. Obviously, follow us on Discord, and that is it for now. Thanks, guys, for coming in, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.